What is going on, everyone? DSP here, and guess what? It's time for a weird day because today we're covering a brand new release. We're actually covering one of the more intriguing releases of the year in Crimson Desert. And normally this would be a day where I'd be like, hey, it's a brand new game. Everyone's excited. Let's play it all day. Except it's not out. Crimson Desert comes out later today. And because of that, I changed the whole schedule around. We're going to talk about that because we're about to have a podcast and just a podcast on this stream and nothing else. So that'll be interesting. On today's show, we have many topics to discuss, including updates on all the ongoing playthroughs. I want to let you know where we're at with each game so that you can assess what's going on with each one and if you're interested in maybe getting caught up on a particular game that we're playing. In addition, we're going to talk about the future. Notably, there's two things that we have to figure out. Number one, what are we doing for DSP Tries It? Because we actually haven't talked about this in a while. We didn't do one this week. And because of that, now we're kind of thrown for a loop, like what's next? So we'll discuss that because maybe there's some new ideas for fast food or something that we can test or do together. I'm interested. But in addition, my birthday's coming up. And every year I have an annual birthday marathon. We determined that this year I would basically figure out what I'm doing on that day. But the question is, what should it be? And we've had different various ideas. We just haven't locked anything in yet. All right? So we're going to talk about all of these topics, a nice chill atmosphere, lots of interaction. Should be a good time. And then we're going to prepare for Crimson Desert. All right, guys? Sit back and relax. It's the final streaming day of the week. And it is time for a standalone episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It indeed is the Level 1 Podcast for Thursday, the 19th of March, 2026. I'm DSP, and this is just a podcast, meaning we're not doing anything else on this stream. We're actually going to take a break afterward and then come back later today for the premiere of Crimson Desert. If you're not aware, Crimson Desert is a new game from a Korean game developer that primarily is known for making an MMO called Black Desert Online. Well, they decided they wanted to make a single-player adventure game. Great. But they used a lot, if not kind of all, of this assets from their MMO. And because of that, the game is already like a pre-installed game. Does that make sense? Like all these elements that you would use for an online multiplayer game just kind of, I don't know, skinnied a bit, tightened up a bit, a little bit slimmer. But I mean, mounts and action-based combat, but there's magic, but there's also mechs, there's crafting, there's fishing, there's traversal, huge open world. It's a pretty crazy premise. So you might say, well, I wonder, how good can it be? Because the game did sound too good for what it was when it kept being described, right? It sounds like it has so much content. Could it possibly be good? I don't know. Could it be one of these games that's a jack of all trades and a master of none? That there's a lot of content, but none of it feels very essential or meaningful. Could it be the next Starfield, where, yeah, there's a ton to do, but most of the systems and things in the game just aren't really necessary or that interesting, and the game ends up being a bore? I don't know. And reviews, which released only 24 hours ago, are all over the place. Like, literally, you got people saying this game's a 5 out of 10. It's boring. It's repetitious. The game isn't good at all. It's wonky, it's janky, it's not polished. And then you got people saying this game is like a 9.5 out of 10, the best open world experience they've ever had in any video game, comparing it to the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. So, yeah, who knows? And I think this is one of these unique opportunities where, because I am a variety streamer and gamer, that a lot of people will want to know my take on it. Does DSP actually like Crimson Desert, or is it really a bore? Because you know he's not going to pull any punches, and he's also not going to kiss butt. I have absolutely no reason to say that this game is better than it is or worse than it is, because I don't benefit. So I'm going to play it today for a lot of time. In fact, in order to cover it properly, okay, I changed my entire schedule today, because this game, oddly enough, releases at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I can't even think of another video game ever in history that I've ever played that releases at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I was like, man, how am I going to do this? Because usually I stream from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m., take a break for dinner, and to spend some time with my wife. And then I come back, around 7, and I stream till like 10. And I thought, well, I want to play a lot of this game today. Reason being, tomorrow I cannot be here, and then I'm also have my regularly scheduled day off on Saturday. So being that there's 2 days off after today, I don't want to just play a taste of this game, you know what I'm saying, and then be like, oh, I didn't cover enough of it. I want to play a lot. So what's the maximum that I could really play of this game if I were to start playing it right at 3 p.m.? Well, I could just play straight through the day, all the way through until, say, 9:30, which is when I usually would end my late stream. And I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just go ahead and do it. So I've redone the whole schedule. What we're going to do is hang out right now on this podcast, have a good time, and then when the podcast ends, so does the stream. All right? And then we'll come back later today, probably turn on the stream around 2:45 p.m. We'll hype it up for 15 minutes. And then when the game releases, we jump right in, we mess with it, and we play it all day, right? We're going to be very interesting, because I never do anything like that for a new release. Will it be good? I want to get a good 6-7 hours of this game in today. And then, once we're done playing a big chunk of it, I want to do like a special summary video that I'll actually leave as the highlighted video for the next few days on the channel, stating my initial impressions and reactions after having played it all day today. So, it's going to be a fun day. Even if the game stinks, at least we'll know. And our answers, will be found on whether or not this is something that perhaps you'll be interested in playing, I'll be interested in continuing. It should be a good experiment, okay? So sit back and relax and hold on to your butts for today's stream. But in the meantime, we do have quite a lot to chill and do on this podcast. Like, we have a lot of topics to cover, okay? And we're going to do that in just a moment. But before we do, let's get to a couple shout outs, because people have already started being generous today, and I very much appreciate that. Okay, so you know what? Let's say good morning to everyone who's actually here live, because it's not a huge crowd, but I'm happy that there are people here. Who do we got? We got Rose Diamonds, Rude Fossa Gaming, Bave Lines, Fader. We got My Ruin, The Villain EXE, Dark Lord Sauron, Beef Supreme, Free JT, Bizarre Pronunciation, Fat Blumpkin, Unemployed Lurker, Captain Cody, Mass Eddie, Super Bonchon, Aloof Liberty, Lavinia. We got Sorelia Baku, Yak Almighty, Ray Rays 59. Most Tasteless is here. Who else? Stolen Valor, and many more, looks like. More people will be speaking up momentarily, I'm sure. Good morning. Thanks for being here to chill with me. I know it's weird because it's only a podcast, and I almost always do a podcast and gameplay, so it's definitely a different kind of stream, but I'm happy that you guys are here to hang out with me today to prepare for Crimson Desert, all right? So, in fact, you know what? Let's get ready. Let's roll up the sleeves. Prepare for the epicness that will be this stream. Gotta be prepared, okay? All right, so let's do some shout-outs quickly. Moonpie Phoenix, how are you? Good morning. Denim Banana, what's going on? Organ Harvester, and more. More people are joining, like I said. Okay, we start off today with Stuart Barrett, celebrating 19 months as a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Stuart, for the ongoing support on DSP Gaming here. And our first active contribution is Typical Average Gamers with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Typical Average Gamers. Let's get this on the leaderboard. Appreciate that. And he says, I am so ready for Crimson Desert. Supposedly it has 10 to 15 hours of tutorials, but it looks peak if you commit. We'll get through about half of that today then, right? Maybe a little more. And that's good. If the game, think of it this way. If the game has that much to it, right? As long as this game executes well, meaning everything works, everything feels meaningful, and everything is fun, it could be an insanely good game. But that's the question. Again, I just said earlier, Starfield, right? So who remembers Starfield? Okay, I don't blame you if you don't remember it. It really is a forgettable game. The problem with Starfield is they advertised Starfield as a game that had all of this content, right? Shipbuilding, weapon crafting, and modding, a million factions, open world exploration with all these planets that are randomly generated, actually being able to base build and terraform the planets. I'm not kidding you. Everything I just mentioned is completely superfluous to the game and doesn't ever have to be done. It's all worthless. It adds nothing. But those are all things that were heavily promoted and pushed. This is the new game from Bethesda, the new IP. You must play it. It's going to crush it. It's going to change everything. And it did nothing. It literally was like 5 steps back from what you wanted from a new Bethesda game. They tried so much and implemented none of it in any kind of an effective manner. It was all a waste of time. So I think that's where, with Crimson Desert, we can get into dangerous waters, even though it sounds like it has so many cool implementations of what you would want in an open world exploration fantasy game. Maybe a lot of them are not finished. Maybe a lot of them are just not needed. I don't care if the game has 200 hours of content if 160 hours is completely worthless and you only play for 40 hours, you beat the game and it's over, right? Like, see what I'm saying? So I'm very curious how this is going to work. I'm also curious, how will it perform on PC? Because I'm hearing different things. Some people are saying they're having horrible experiences, and others are like, oh, it's great. So is it dependent on your hardware? I updated all my graphics drivers in preparation for today, so we are fully upgraded with my graphics card. We should be good to go. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. So the way this is going to work is Crimson Desert will begin around 3 p.m. We're going to play it all the way through 9:30-ish. Then I'll say goodnight, and I will make a summary video to be the highlight video for the next few days on the channel, and then I will upload all of that 6 to 7 hours of gameplay with thumbnails, titles, and all of that to the channel. I am off from streaming both tomorrow and Saturday. When I return on Sunday, we'll have a Return Level 1 podcast where I'm sure I will summarize my experiences with the game today, and then we'll jump back into it. We're going to have another stream of it on Sunday, and then Sunday night will be the continuation of Rimworld, and then next week we'll have a balance. Yes, we'll still have Dragon Quest. Yes, we'll have more Crimson Desert. Yes, there'll be more Slay the Spire 2. There's going to be some indie content, and there'll be Street Fighter 6. Okay? So next week will be a good mix of everything together. It should be a really good time. Okay. So, there you have it. Let's see how it goes today. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Maybe this will become an awesome, epic, ongoing playthrough that gets a lot of, attention and traction on the channel. Maybe the game will be boring as dirt and flop and no one will care about it. I don't know. We'll find out together. At least today should be a really interesting day, no matter what happens, right? So there you have it. Okay, so what I'd like to do now, all right? I'd like to talk about everything that we're currently doing with the games I'm playing so that everyone is up to speed on all the current playthroughs and get you into, a knowledgeable place about what to expect on the channel, because I've been juggling quite a few different kinds of games to the point where now you might be scratching your head like, well, what's going on with this one or that one? Is this one going to be continued to be played, etc.? All right. So for the record, there's only 1 or 2 other games in this whole month that I'm even interested in playing. For example, at the very end of the month, there's Life is Strange Reunion on March 26th. That's supposed to be the latest/last episode of Life is Strange that basically is going to tie up the story of Max and Chloe, which is weird because Chloe's supposed to be dead in the plot, supposedly. So I'm interested in that. Now, that's something that we have to rush to play through and beat, but it's something that we could play casually, right? And then there's also another game called Screamer, which is some kind of a driving game. So that's at the end of the month. Do we absolutely have to rush to play those? Not really. But we also could if we need new content, depending on how things go with our current playthroughs, all right? What I'm trying to get at here is, after Crimson Desert, there's nothing super high priority this month. So we can focus on whatever we want, do whatever we want, And that's a good thing. I like to have control of the schedule rather than say, oh, there's like 5 other games we're bogged down that we were going to have to play. It's not really like that, okay? And so, with that knowledge, let's talk about all the games that I'm currently playing. So, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Well, here's the truth. I really like the game. I think it's outstanding. It's a really cool modern reimagining of Dragon Quest. The problem is, for what I'm to understand, it's insanely long. Like, the playthrough right now is around 30 hours long, and people are like, oh yeah, so you're a third through the game. A third? Excuse me? Yeah, apparently I'm only a third through the game. I was thinking, oh, this game will be like 40 hours, and so, we'll wrap it up soon. Oh no, not even close. And let's be honest, this game, out of everything that I've been doing in the last month and a half, has the least attendance, least engagement, and least support. That sucks. I love turn-based RPGs. I love classic JRPGs. This one is a modern reimagining of a classic in a really awesome way with the redone graphics and music. It's sad that I just can't get an audience for it. All right? However, I love it. I love the game. I like it that it's chill vibes whenever we play it, and therefore, that's why I'm keep playing it. And people are like, I don't get it. Why are you keep playing it if you're not really getting attendance or a lot of support for it? That's particularly why. It's kind of like the guilty pleasure game for me where people say, well, just play what you want. All right, well, I will. But then, you got to understand that there's going to be a playthrough that's not going to do very well. As long as everything else is going well, it's okay. And that's the case here. So, it will continue, but it's always going to kind of be the playthrough that's kind of on the back burner. Meaning, yes, I'll play it once or twice a week, but it's never really going to get a major focus. It's going to be the game that gets pushed to the side when other new things and exciting things are happening. And therefore, we'll see how much we play it next week. Hopefully 2 streams and 6 hours of advancement would be nice. We'll have to see. Okay? Okay. Rimworld. We actually just played Rimworld last night. Here's where we are with Rimworld because it's kind of interesting, all right? We've been playing Rimworld for 44 hours. Yeah. Since we started it at the very last day of 2025, in the last 3 months or so, we've played the heck out of Rimworld. And we started with a colony that I had no idea what I was doing, and you guys were trying to teach me the basics, and it fell apart, and they all died. Then I started a second colony. I immediately made mistakes, and they all died. So then we started with a third colony, and that's the one that we've now been playing with for over 30 hours. This colony constantly is in peril. People are getting the plague. Power keeps going out. Natural disasters, raids from various different kinds of people, running out of resources, etc. It just keeps happening. Disaster keeps striking. But I've somehow managed to keep everyone alive. It's going well. In fact, I think we have 10 survivors right now and climbing. We have good defenses. We're getting better armor and weapons. We're able to hold off most raids and problems. And we're finally getting the ability to get the resources we need to do the more complex stuff. So within a few streams, we may actually be able to build a spaceship and escape and beat Rimworld. But what's funny is, I've noticed at least the last couple of streams or last few streams, attendance has been dwindling. Sometimes support dwindles, sometimes it doesn't. Like there was one stream that actually was pretty slow, but then last night went really, really well. So it's kind of like this, it's all over the place. And last night, when I was talking to the audience about, this playthrough, basically something was revealed to me that I didn't realize. I was told that 90% of people who play Rimworld never beat it. They really just play it for that experience of, hey, if we throw the survivors into this situation, this biome, this level of risk, right? You know how you can adjust the narrative to be different? You can have it be very tame and easy. You can have it be very challenging and chaotic. So basically what people do, they go into this game with the mindset, I want to cause as much chaos as I can, or have it be set a certain way, a certain amount of challenges for the survivors, and then see if they can actually make it. And basically, once you get to a certain point, people are like, all right, well, it got kind of boring now, so I think let's move on and do something else. Or, hey, let's add some mods to change up the formula. Or, hey, let's buy one of the big DLC packs and add that content to twist it and make it fresh. So I think what's happened is, we're at the point where we're over 30 hours into Rimworld, and some people are like, all right, we kind of seen everything in vanilla, can we see more? And I'm like, but we didn't beat it yet. Right? We haven't, they haven't survived. We haven't gotten on the spaceship, and a lot of people are of the impression it doesn't matter. Just stop. I'm like, so last night what we did, we watched the trailers for all 5 of the DLC packs, And everyone seems to have a different opinion that if I were to do a DLC, which one I should do. Because obviously you don't want to do all 5 at once. That's a lot of new stuff to be thrown into your face. I don't know. Like, I think last night the stream went really well. And we actually are at the point where perhaps within a couple more streams of the game, we would be able to maybe even wrap up the first group here that really survived so long. And then maybe we start over. You know, start over with a new group with a DLC and a variable that makes it feel fresh and different. Or, like I said to everyone last night, if people really are boring, people are bored, I'd be willing to just start over, but I'm not going to kill off my current colony. Like, I'll just save them, and maybe we could resume them at a later date. I mean, 30-plus hours of gameplay is a lot of gameplay to invest and just throw away. You know, you get, man, I put work into this. I want to see if they're going to, you know, basically survive. So, we'll see. We're going to keep playing Rimworld. Next stream actually is scheduled for Sunday night. We're going to see how it goes the next couple of streams and go from there. If people do technically just get bored, I'm not opposed to starting over, maybe buying a DLC or whatever people want. Okay, so we'll see what people want and go from there. But Rimworld continues as a chill night stream. Okay, so Slay the Spire 2. Slay the Spire 2 is really a game that is, how can I say, the game itself is not disappointing me in any way. I'm pleasantly surprised at how fun and interesting and engaging and entertaining the game is. It really makes you think. It's one of those games that you really have to play it smart, because if you don't have a proper deck or you play the deck poorly, you're never going to survive. But I've now done 4 different runs in the game with the first 4 heroes. I beat the game 2 out of 4 times. And it's my first experience ever with Slay the Spire, for the record. Like, I've never played this franchise before. I really like it. It's turn-based. It has a lot of strategy with the deck. You know, I like the visual style. I like that each one of the characters plays completely differently with their builds and how they play. I'm really enjoying myself with this game. The game itself continuously has 500,000 concurrent players on Steam alone in early access. So it's doing incredibly well for itself. It's sold millions and millions of copies. So I have a question. Why can't I really get a big audience? And why can't I get consistent support for this game? I'm really confused. I'm scratching my head because I love it. I really do like the game. I want to keep playing it. We've played with 4 of the 5 characters. We're actually doing a second run with the 4th because I kind of botched my run, and I wanted to do another one right away, so we did. And then we have the 5th character to try, and then after that we can go back and try again, maybe with different difficulties or variables, because the thing is, every time that you play, you unlock more. So, for example, my second run with the 4th character, that Necromancer character, we're in a different location, we're fighting different enemies, which is kind of neat. I like that. So, in regards to it, I think what it is a combination of factors. Factor number 1, I am not known for playing this style of game, to be honest with you. Like, people usually don't come to DSP Gaming to see me play indies. They don't come to see me play slow-paced, turn-based games, right? It's just something that I have to work on, is growing that audience. People that are going to want to see me play the hot new indie games, regardless of if they're action-packed or if they're more slow, methodical, and cerebral. Because this game really is a thinker's game, okay? That's number 1. But, at the same time, you know, I like it so much, I want to keep going. So, now I'm faced with a tough decision, because, like, I already have Dragon Quest VII going on, and Dragon Quest VII isn't doing great. So how do I now say, well, that's okay. Keep playing Dragon Quest VII, which also isn't doing good, but then keep playing Slay the Spire 2, which still isn't finding much of an audience. Just keep going with these games that the viewing audience isn't really asking for because you like them. And it's funny because I get comments like that every day. People come by and they're like, why don't you just play what you like? And the answer is pretty simple. Because I'm not a casual streamer who's just streaming for a hobby. This is also my job. All right? I'm streaming for an audience to entertain them, to engage them, to get views, engagement, and support so I could have a successful business, to have profits so that I could support my family. That's my job here. You know, I'm not just here for shits and giggles messing around. I actually have to entertain the audience. And if the audience isn't finding Dragon Quest and Slay the Spire 2 entertaining, then sadly I have to say, well, do we play them less? Do we change the time slot? Do we not play them at all? And that's a tough decision to make when you are enjoying what you're doing. You know, this, again, I compare this to last year when I was playing Blueprints. I was having a blast with the game. Every stream, it was like we were discovering something completely new and different in the game, right? Like, wow, a new puzzle, a new experience, something awesome and new is going on. And then I'd look at the audience and I'd have like 150 people on stream. And no one's talking and no one's supporting. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this, man? You know? Last year, I had such a unique experience with that game. I'm so happy I played it. I'm so happy that I toughed it out and I played it over 60 hours. But I might have just skipped it, you know, if I didn't tough it out. And then I would have missed out on one of the most original games I've played in years. So I don't really know what to do about it. You know, these are tough decisions. And the thing is, as long as things keep overwhelmingly going, or not overwhelmingly, but overall going well, meaning I'm doing great streams of games and we're doing good support and stuff, then it's fine that I have 1 or 2 playthroughs that aren't doing that well. But I am nervous because, for example, the other night I had a slow stream of Rimworld, which always has been a game that's overperformed, quite frankly, and always done really well. Now, if the tried and true dependable games aren't going to do so well, now I'm like, now we're going to have a problem with these games that just aren't doing well in general, right? So, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I got to figure stuff out. Here's the thing. Right now, things are good. I'm going to keep going with what I'm doing. So next week, you will still see more Slay the Spire 2. You will see more Dragon Quest 7. Those will continue next week, okay? What I don't know is what's going to happen with Crimson Desert, like at all. I don't know if Crimson Desert will continue or not. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there you have it. Yak Almighty says, I would like to see more Mugenics, but I get it if it doesn't have an audience. There's an example of a game. I didn't think I was going to like it. You guys convinced me to try it. I tried it. I like it. I played it twice for half an hour, so an hour now. I like the gameplay. The gameplay is very similar to Final Fantasy Tactics or South Park: The Fractured But Whole. It's like the grid spatial-based, turn-based combat, and each character is unique and has different abilities that they can use. And the thing is, the gimmick of the game is that the cats basically kind of crossbreed and create hybrids of each other. So you might have a cat that has this great ability, but this also great ability from another cat, and now you can like customize your units and things, you see? And I totally get the appeal of that, except the 2 times I played it, all I got were complaints. Everyone said, this game is boring as dirt. And I'm like, did you never play a grid-based RPG before? Like, it's actually very tactical, very strategic. You have to think. Do you see the pattern of what I'm saying? Gee, Slay the Spire 2, very cerebral, very tactical. You have to think and plan out your deck and your moves. Oh, look, Mugenics, you have to think and plan out your attacks on a grid. People, oh, I can't handle it. My brain's melting. It's coming out of my ears because I have the IQ of a bunny rabbit. You know? It's like, well, not me. I like it. But I don't know what to tell you. It's not like I'm sitting here silently playing and not talking. I'm narrating everything I'm doing. I'm talking about my thought process. I'm trying to interact with the chat when I play it. And half the people are like, whoa, what is this? Oh, there's no sparklies. There's no explosions. There's no one dying constantly. They can't handle it. They can't. You know what? I was talking to my wife about this last night. Isn't it funny that no one reads anymore? Like when I was a kid, my dad would constantly read to me. And I would see him reading in a book, and I would learn how to read words by actually seeing him read the words in a book, and then I would associate that word with that sound and that meaning, and then I learned how to read from watching my dad read to me. And then I would go to school, and I already had a one-up on all the kids in school who some of them were starting at level 0 and had no idea how to read at all, okay? It's like that level of intelligence is just lost on people. Did you know we have people who are graduating from high school who don't read? I'm not shitting you. People are graduating from fucking high school and can't read. That's the level of intelligence we have on Earth today with humans. Yet now we want AI to do everything for us. Does that sound like a good idea? So when I try to stream an intelligent game and half the audience is acting like they're having a brain aneurysm, I think I understand what's going on. It's kind of messed up how bad society has become, you know? So anyway, I am absolutely positively loving all the games we're playing. It just sucks that some of them aren't clicking with the audience right now, and there's not much that I can really do about it, right? I can't make you like a genre you don't like. I can't make you understand that I'm going to try to play more indie games on this channel and to get used to it. All I can do is say, hey, I'm going to do my best to make these playthroughs entertaining. I'm going to tough it out if they're not always doing well. And hopefully, long term, we can convince people that these games are good and you should give it a try and stop being so damn close-minded, because that's exactly what happened last year with Blueprints. Oh my God, all you're doing is wandering through the same rooms over and over, and this is so boring and repetitive. Like, yeah, but do you not understand that every time we play, there's a new puzzle we're solving, there's a new overarching thing that we're doing, we're unlocking a new content, a new room, a new piece of, what? It's all the same. No, it's not. It's just that you don't have an attention span faster than, say, 5 minutes, longer than 5 minutes. You can't stand to stare at a game and actually have to think. You want explosions, you want combat, you want me swearing and raging. Well, that's not going to be every game, okay? So, let's see how it goes in the next few weeks. I want to keep playing these games, but what we have to gauge, if there's other things going on that people would like to see more, we maybe have to adjust on the fly, and that's okay. But I would like to keep going with Slay the Spire 2. At least I want to play with all 5 characters and maybe play another run and see the other variables. It is in early access, so very well it could be that within another week or two, we've done everything in the game at this point, and we're like, yeah, we move on. And that's okay. We come back later when there's more characters, because right now there's 5, but apparently there's supposed to be 12 total. So I'd be down for going back when there's, more people who are engaged and maybe the game has more content. The other thing is, there's more than enough to do. Outside of everything I've just described, there's one other game we're playing, Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is still insanely rage-inducing because the online play is fucking terrible. Lagging, dropping of inputs, it's infuriating, okay? A lot of people don't seem to understand that it's not necessarily the game that drives me nuts, it's the fact that you can't really play the game well because they've designed it so poorly. Sorry, it's just a fact. I'm speaking facts no one wants to hear in the FGC, but the game is a piece of dog shit online, okay? So, I do my best to play Street Fighter 6. When I do, usually people show up, engage, and support. Almost always. All right, it's not every stream, but most streams do really well. Mostly because a lot of people like to see me struggle and rage. Some people like to see me overcome. Okay? I am going to play more Street Fighter 6 next week. In fact, we're at 3-star diamond rank with Alex, the new character. Obviously, I want to play with him more and get him to master. And then after that, we'll see what else we want to do. Okay? But that will continue. So you'll get your action, all right, that you're so craving, you'll get it. And if Crimson Desert has action, you'll also get it there. Okay? So I certainly hope that you guys will be here next week as we continue with Dragon Quest, Slay the Spire 2, Rimworld, Street Fighter 6, and now Crimson Desert. That's what's on the agenda for next week. Yes, we will explore more games. For example, like I said, there is Life is Strange, and we may or may not play that, depending on if you guys want it or not next week. We'll see. And we'll go from there. Now, there's more happening as well. Let's talk about it. But first, let's do a couple quick shout-outs. Rich Cheney did a $2 Canadian Super Chat. Says, what are your top 5 favorite books? No lie, I would probably say, and I know this is cliche, probably the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Probably is my favorite trilogy of books. And I would probably say out of the 3, Return of the King is my favorite book of the 3. I would probably say the real Jurassic Park, not the movie, but the actual book by Michael Crichton is super duper freaking good. It's actually much better than the movie and has a lot of missing content that wasn't in the movie that makes it a much more complete experience. It actually makes it way more scary, like a horror movie. I remember before the movies, okay, I actually really liked reading the original Da Vinci Code book. And there was a couple sequels that were made that I read. Like the one was a prequel, and I liked those too. What was it? Dan Brown? Is that the writer? I liked those. Probably the first 2 to 3 Game of Thrones actual books by George R.R. Martin are masterpieces. But after the first 3 to 4 books, it just goes into the toilet. It's a shame because it feels like a series that had such potential. And then you can tell the author lost interest and just didn't care anymore and was writing slop and then stopped writing. Let's see. I'm trying to think, like, if there's any other books that I read that really stand out amongst the pack besides those. Oh, I know. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That series was hilarious. British wit. Really, really witty, interesting stuff. Good humor, dry humor, sarcastic humor, funny stuff. Really like that book series. And I read them all. I read the entire series. What was his name? Darn, I feel bad. I forgot his name now. Who's the author of those? Is it Adams? His last name was Adams? Douglas Adams. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So there you go. I would say those are my top. Not necessarily individual books, but some of those were series because they're all good. But like I would say, definitely Return of the King was my favorite of the Lord of the Rings series. And I would say, man, see, out of the Douglas Adams books, there's a lot of, they're all good. Probably The Diner at the Edge of the Universe is probably the best one, I think. The Diner at the Edge of the Galaxy. That's what it's called. There you go. By the way, what's hilarious is people are going to be like, I didn't know that you read 5 books. That was the joke. We thought you weren't going to be able to name 5 books. Oh, I used to read all the time. I actually read a lot of Michael Crichton's books. Like Timeline was actually super good book. Terrible movie. Again, the books using the source materials for movies are way better than the movies that come out. Timeline, the book, is like this brutal, gritty, messed up storyline that's gripping as hell, like super suspenseful, great writing. Then the movie is like dog shit, you know? Anyway. Oh yeah, Andromeda Strain, that's a great book. Hell yeah. See, now people are reminding me of all the books that I used to read back in the day that are super good. There you go. But anyway, I just find that funny because people thought I didn't read 5 books. I probably read more books than most of you. That's the truth. Soul at 2 a.m. How you doing? $5 super chat. He says, what are your thoughts on water desalinization? I believe it will become more and more important in the future with the way the environment is changing. What do you mean? Like taking salt out of water so we have more drinkable water? I'm not a scientist. I don't know much about it. There we go. So now Rich did another super chat. He says the top 5 that haven't been adapted into media. That's a stupid question because most good books are adapted into media. Like I could go back and be like, yeah, I remember when I read Oliver Twist in high school. I really liked that book too. But guess what? It's been made into a movie 10 times, right? So that's just a dumb question. Thanks for the super chat though. Okay. Alrighty. So anyway, that's what's currently going on with games. Now, what else is going on? Well, this week we opted to not do a DSP Tries It, and some people are like, not used to that. Because the thing is, we've been doing a weekly DSP Tries It for a very long time. Alright, if you remember, DSP Tries It used to be a show that we were doing as a reward for hitting a certain level of support goals. Except as of November of last year, we don't have support goals anymore. I just stream and have fun, and we all have a good time together, and you support because you like the content, not because we're trying to hit some arbitrary number. And now, DSP Tries It is more like, hey, let's all talk, let's chill, let's brainstorm, let's find out things we really want to do, rather than saying, we must mandatorily do a DSP Tries It when we hit a certain milestone of goals, right? So it's been a lot more laid back and chill, although admittedly, there haven't been a lot of great things to do for DSP Tries It as of late. Okay, for example, let's actually go through the DSP Tries It's that I've done recently, okay? So, the last one was Nothing Bundt Cakes, a taste testing of a variety of bundt cakes from a local restaurant chain that really is a bakery chain. I tried 4 bundt cakes. I liked the episode. No one else did. 800 views after a week. No one cares about this DSP Tries It. But what about when I tried the new McDonald's Big Arch that was going viral on the internet? Over 2,000 views. Best episode I've done by far in like a year. So it's here or there. When I did the new Wendy's chicken tenders and a burger, it did pretty good. When I did IHOP for dinner, it did pretty good. When I actually did the crumble cookies, it did all right. Shake Shack's barbecue menu did okay. It was Korean barbecue. Panda Express did decent. Okay, Jersey Mike's did okay. It took a while to build up, but did all right. Went to Panera Bread and hated it, and people like that episode because they like to see me basically suffer and do things I don't like, right? So there's been some ups and downs and all arounds, right? Probably some of the ones that are the more interesting ones is when I do something that I've never done before, but it's something that maybe you could get. For example, I tried Carl's Jr. around 4 months ago, and it was the first time I ever had Carl's Jr., And I thought that it was actually quite good. I was shocked at the value and the flavor. Everything was pretty good. And people really liked that episode, right? So, the question is, what to do next? And the answer is, I don't know, because I'm not up on what's going on with fast food. I don't really follow it that closely. And I'd like to know if you guys are aware of anything new that's been going on in fast food that you would like to see me try. If not, then I might have to brainstorm on my end if there's anything local to try. But the thing is, when I do local businesses, they don't usually do well for episodes. Okay? Is there anything going on right now new with fast food? Is there a pizza chain? Is there something with burgers? Is there something with Taco Bell? Is there, you know what I mean? That's worth doing. I'll tell you right now, I'm not doing that Taco Bell bacon ranch chicken bullshit. That's disgusting. It's not Mexican food. It's gross slop. I'm not wasting time on that shit. Just like people are like, will you try the new Whopper? Well, I will when there's a reason to go to Burger King. The new Whopper is literally the same exact Whopper burger with a new bun and a different flavored mayonnaise. That is not a reason to go to Burger King and buy it. It's not even interesting DSP tries it. It's kind of boring. So I'd like to go back there at some point when there's something else to actually do too. Right? We don't have Whataburger here, sadly. I wish we did. That would be something new to try. Actually, Super Bonchon says, the new Whopper is the reason to go to Burger King. Comes in a box now. Actually, half the Burger Kings aren't even doing it in the box. I know because my wife, has watched various people on YouTube. And she's like, she watches some of these taste test things. And some people got it and it still comes in the paper anyway. Oh, the new Whopper that looks exactly the same and even comes in the old packaging. Oh, how exciting, right? Someone tipped $2, says, did you avoid a non-adaptation book question because you've not read enough of them? No, it's because most of the good books I've read always are adapted. Almost always. In fact, it's harder for me to think of good books that I've read that were not adapted because they almost always have been made into movies or whatever, if they had a following as a book. That happens every time. Alrighty, let's see here. So someone tipped $4, says, I don't know if Crimson Desert will be your kind of game. People are saying it's a 100-hour open world. The game apparently doesn't explain anything and has no story. Well, let's see. Like, here's the truth. If the game loop is interesting, if we start playing and we're exploring and we're discovering all kinds of new interesting things and challenges and, you know what I mean? It might be fun. Even if there is no direct storyline or whatever, it might still be good. Again, all I want to say is let's relax and let's chill and let's enjoy it at face value. Let's not preconceive it. Let's not, how can I say? Let's not try to demand anything from it. Let's just play it and enjoy it today. Let's treat it as a big experiment. That's why I cleared my day to do it, right? Let's see how it goes, okay? I received a $5 tip. This is our first tip animation of the day. And this person says, I'd like to stay anonymous. Kudos to you for changing your schedule around so now we can have maximum Crimson Desert coverage. I'm on the fence about it. I'm looking forward to watching your coverage to make up my mind. I have heard the first 8 hours are kind of slow. All right, well, you know what? If that is the case, it's actually a good thing that we're doing it all today, right? We're playing for 6 to 7 hours today. Let's get through the slow build stuff, so when we play it again on Sunday, maybe we'll get to the good stuff, right? There you go. Let's see. Thank you for the tip. Also, Greg did a $2 super chat. He says, sorry for being too regarded for turn-based. Well, first of all, you can say retarded. There's nothing wrong with that word. Being honest with you, there's not. All it means is that, essentially, like, for example, when you talk about something that's flame retardant, what does it mean? It means that something is not easy to catch fire. It actually kind of prevents fire. It slows down fire. There's nothing wrong with the word. It's not offensive. Okay? It's not. Humans are dumb, and they take the most inoffensive, nonsensical words, and they make them offensive because they're silly snowflakes who just want to be offended by everything because they're bored. I'm going to repeat what I just said. People get offended all the time because they're bored, because they have nothing to fucking do. If they actually had things around them that were, like, dangerous or risky or if they had any kind of stress or strife in their lives, they wouldn't be scared by fucking words. Okay? You're only scared by a word because your life is too insulated and boring. Period. Okay? When you give power to a word and claim that it's offensive, it means that you're a simpleton. Okay? Just saying that. So there's nothing wrong with the word retarded because it actually has a meaning. And if you use it properly, it's not offensive. All right? Now, if you're saying you're mentally slow and that's why you don't like games that have to make you think, I'm sorry to hear that. Really, I am. I'm actually very sorry to hear that because I love games that make me think. Like some of the better playthroughs that I think I've done over the years, for example, the game Soma. Okay? This is a game from the makers of Amnesia. And when Soma came out, I loved it, but everyone criticized it and said, oh, it was too boring or whatever. I was like, well, did you think about the actual topic of the game? That basically, what is life? What is sentience? If someone were to copy your consciousness and make an AI clone of you, is that clone alive? Is that clone really you living on if you were to die? Is there an afterlife? Is there a soul? Is there the human condition? The fact we're all going to die someday. I'm playing this game, and this game is making me think of all these insanely, deep, big-brained issues. Most people playing the game are like, where's the monsters? I don't get it. There's no monsters every 5 seconds? No, stupid. You're supposed to think when you play this game. You're supposed to be scared by the psychological horror of the human condition that we're all going through right now, and it went right over your head because you're a dunce. Okay? So those are some of my favorite games, right? When I play them, I love those kind of games, all right? And sadly, sometimes the audience, I can't connect with them. And I don't know what I can do, I have to say, it's probably people who grow up without people who raise them properly to make them think. And what I mean by that is, I hate to say, I think in modern society, what's happened is a lot of people have kids just because they can have them and they think that it's their right, but then they don't actually take on the experience of being a parent. They don't teach the kids jack shit. They plop the kid down. It used to be plop the kid down in front of the TV, but now it's plop the kid down in front of the smart device. Give them a phone or an iPad when they're a kid, and they just sit there staring at the fucking internet, not learning a goddamn thing, can't even read when they're in high school, and then they come out of life acting basically like a non-sentient animal, just walking around following, clicking memes and fucking around like they're stunted, How do you not like a game that makes you think? No, I need explosion. I need big boom 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 booms. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're the people who sat there and watched all the Michael Bay Transformers and TMNT movies and thought they were the best thing ever. Like, oh my God. I just don't get it because video games used to be the thinking man's thing, the thinking man's hobby, right? Why am I so upset with what has happened with modern fighting games? Because they don't take intelligent thought to play anymore. To be good at fighting games back in the day, yes, you needed hand-eye coordination and you needed muscle memory, but you actually needed to be fucking smart. You had to be intelligent to play them because you had to have strategy. You had to be thinking. You needed to react, but also have an overall overarching plan for when you play. Today, it's, I watch video, I learn combo, I copy-paste, pattern. You could be an idiot and play fighting games today at a competent level. That's not a good thing. You've taken away the thing that made them challenging and fun. You made them for the masses and you made them for stupid people, and now they're just boring. That's not good. You understand? We could have still had that kind of stuff over here, but still had the smart stuff here. Instead, you got rid of the smart stuff, pushed it to the side, and said, now everyone must play the stupid stuff. That's why Street Fighter 6 frustrates me. Okay? So when I play a smart game that takes intelligence to understand and like, and my audience says, I can't stand it, it's boring, and I can't get an audience for it, it's like, oh my God. At what point will the world become the world of Wall-E, where everyone's just a fat blob sitting in a fucking robot chair and it does everything for you, tubes up your nose and in your fucking ass, and you just sit there getting pumped all day and you don't do anything? What's the point of fucking existing? Anyway, so All that being said, where were we even talking? What were we even talking about? Oh, Greg was saying he was too slow to enjoy turn-based games. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe one day you'll actually get an intelligence level and an attention span level where you can actually sit down and enjoy something that's a slow burn that makes you think. Not everyone has it. You know what? I don't necessarily think that it's your fault. It's probably your parents. It's probably society as a whole that's tried to milk you and turn you into just some kind of a, you know, not even consciously thinking cog in a machine, right? Make that person breathe and consume. We don't care if they think, as long as they keep breathing and consuming and we can get something out of it. It's pretty fucked up. Anyway, let's continue. Papa Slap Nuts did a $2 super chat. He says, Crimson Desert is cringe. We want Dragon Quest. Well, there you go. Don't worry, because Dragon Quest will continue. Okay? It will continue. And then we have Pizza Cake with a $5 super chat. If you love games that make you think, why are your playthroughs the most handheld playthroughs on the internet? If they're not, that's just what my detractors say, so you've just proved that you're retarded. Like, you actually proved that you're slow. You need someone to Pied Piper play the pipe and guide you along your path, because you can't watch content and understand it for yourself. You're too dumb. You're too stunted. So you need some cult leader to follow you to a conclusion about something, and that's what you've done. You're an idiot. Which kind of is proven by the fact that you sent me $5 to say that. Oh, then the person actually sent me another $2 to try to insult me again. Thank you so much. I mean, people who send money to insult people are probably the dumbest people on earth. Very nice. Someone tipped $2, says, do you remember Supremacy MMA? It was one of my favorite playthroughs you did back in the day. All I remember about Supremacy MMA is that anytime that I tried to concentrate, the game had the worst soundtrack I've ever heard, and it gave me a fucking headache. So I couldn't even, like, competently pay attention to what was going on in the game. So there you go. Alex from Phoenix did a $5 super chat, and he says, you know, I've heard that this game does not hold your hand at all when it comes to puzzles or gameplay, so it should be fun. There you go. If anything, this should be a fun playthrough where we can hang out and interact, and I'll try to figure it out as much as I can, and then you guys can help me along the way if there's something I'm not catching on or understanding, and that'll be part of the fun social experience of the game. Some games are just meant to be better experiences if you experience them with a crowd, and maybe that's the case with this game. I guess we'll see. Marky says, I hear the combat will be easy to pick up but difficult to master. People are comparing learning to combos in Street Fighter. Seriously? Wow. I wonder, is it a combat system that unlocks over time? Like, do you start with basic stuff, but as you play more, you unlock new abilities and stuff? Like, I've heard there's no leveling system, but basically it's based on, like, equipment. So what if you find a sword and that sword unlocks a whole bunch of cool combos and stuff? Maybe that's how it plays. I don't know. We'll find out. I have stayed away from information because I want to experience it first time with all of you without spoiling. So we're going to see to this afternoon exactly what this game is. Thank you to Princess Luna for a gifted membership. I think that's our first membership of the day. It is. Thank you, Princess Luna. So thank you to Luna for the membership. Thank you guys for the super chats and the tips. Man, it sure would be great if we could get some kick support this morning. Or I guess you could say this afternoon, considering we have no subs and no kicks whatsoever over there. Now, let's see how fast before idiots start spamming moral support because they're brain dead. Okay, we got our first one. Denim Banana and 1980 Snort. Keep going. Let's go. Bernal Castro. Here come the brainless. Captain Cody. Cody Jones. Unemployed Lurker. Every one of you is dumb. Everyone's a moron. Very nice. It's like on cue. Just the conga line of the stunted. They come out to start throwing the moral support. That doesn't mean anything. So let's see if we'll actually get some real support from Kick this afternoon. That would be nice. Thank you, Beef Supreme. He says, the beef respects the king's honesty about society. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. It really is. Listen, I appreciate games that are full of action, games that are kind of like reaction-based. Like Call of Duty, I can play it. I can get it. And, I get that adrenaline pumping. If you had an exciting match of Call of Duty and you're running through, you're getting a kill streak and things are blowing up around you, like, goddamn, you feel it, right? But, man, do I like a thinking man's game, too. Like, Slay the Spire 2, I'm loving right now. I can't wait to play it again. Seriously, this current run I'm doing, the second run with this Necromancer character, it's actually turning out way better than the first. I'm using Doom rather than the Soul build that I did the first time. The Doom build seems much better. And I'm having a great time. I can't wait to play more and then try the next character. You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually craving the game. I wish I could play it more, but you can't play it every day when you're not getting a ton of people there on stream to watch or support it. You know what I mean? So I got to kind of stretch it out and balance it with everything else. And it's sad that we just can't get more of a thinking audience for video games these days, because a lot more games are becoming more cerebral. They really are. They're becoming more about thinking than about flashy nonsense. Particularly the indie games, right? There you go. Amber Heard's Turd did a $2 super chat, says, Phil, Slay the Spire is a glorified Flash iPhone game. The graphics and what it runs on are not representative of the quality of a game. Overall, it's about the gameplay experience and what enjoyment you get out of it. And yes, maybe the performance and the graphics are part of that, but it's certainly not the entire, experience of what it really is. Dennis Reynolds did a $5 super chat, says, what have you accomplished in your adult life that would prove to anyone that you're of higher intelligence? Have you programmed or developed anything? Let's see. For the greater part of 15 years, despite the most of the internet trying to make me fail, I have succeeded. I have grown. I've improved. And I get people like you to pay me to think that you're insulting me when in reality you're doing exactly what I want and you're allowing me to have a nice, lavish life. So thanks for the $5. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't want to hear that, did you? Do you think someone stupid could do that? Make you do exactly what I want? Like, literally, you're just playing right into my hands right now? I don't know. Why don't you respond by sending me another $5? Amber Heard's, speaking of it, Amber Heard's Turd did a $2 super chat. Says, Slay the Spire is something I would play at the doctor's. Okay, me too. And I would also play it at home. And I would also play it everywhere, because that's one of the beautiful things about the game is that you can play it anywhere because it runs anywhere. Amber Heard's Turd did another $2 super chat. Says, you should have played Pocopia. It's a missed opportunity. Again, I'm not against playing Pocopia. I'm also not against playing Pokemon Leaf Green or Fire Red. These are all very viable options of games that we can start playing. So if things do slow down with the games and it's not working, or we need something new for the schedule, let's say Crimson Desert isn't that good and we decide not to continue with it, we could easily jump into one of these Pokemon games. That's fine. That's your call. We'll see what happens. Someone tipped $2 and says, a lot of your longtime fans, okay, might only like more action-based games and might only show up for them. Now, here's the thing. I want you to understand something, because I've tried to be clear, but a lot of people, again, if you have a simpleton's logic, you would never understand the complexity of thought that I talk about on stream, okay? I'm a variety streamer for a reason. I'm a variety streamer because I want to appeal to a wide variety of people who have different tastes and will show up for different kinds of games, okay? So if you like thinking games, that take intelligence to figure out, I'm going to play them. If you like action games, Call of Duty or Street Fighter 6, I'm also going to play that. You see, I have a wide audience. They don't just all show up at the same time. Right now, I actually have quite a good audience for this podcast, but I bet there'll be more people later when I'm playing Crimson Desert who weren't interested in the podcast. But then when I play Street Fighter next week, we'll have a different crowd. And then when I play Slay the Spire, again, there'll be a different crowd. If you add all those together, I've got thousands of people who watch me over the course of a week, all unique viewers, but they only tune in for what they like. That's by design. That's not, I messed around and stumbled into it. That's exactly the thought process that I had when I started as a creator 18 years ago. I said, I want to play everything, because then people will want to be on DSP Gaming for a big variety of content. Therefore, I'm not beholden to one style or genre, because genres have trends like this. You might be at the height of popularity for fighting games, and all of a sudden they fall off. Well, if I just play fighting games, what else am I going to do for my content, right? So because I do everything, I have this appeal. You're absolutely right. There are long-standing fans of mine who were around back in the day before I played a variety of games. I wasn't playing indies. I wasn't playing thinking man's games. It was a lot of action, right? So they're there for Call of Duty. They're there for Street Fighter. They're there for, you know, the next big AAA game, and then they won't come back for another one. Like, they were here for Resident Evil 9, and now they're gone, and they're not going to come back for a while. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy that a lot, and that's perfectly okay. You know what's not okay? Coming by to my Slay Spire stream to complain that the game is boring. That's what's not okay, because no one cares about your opinion. Just because you don't like that game doesn't mean that other people don't have the right to like it. And particularly, again, if it's a game that needs a certain level of intelligence and you're complaining you don't like it, it's boring, gives you a headache, that might say more about you than the game, don't you think? That's what I'm saying. Okay. Kmart Punk with a $2 super chat says, where's Animaniacs for the SNES? I have no idea. I don't know if I ever played Animaniacs on SNES or if the game even exists. Does it? I'm sure it probably does because everything had a tie-in, a game tie-in back in the day. But I don't particularly know why you're asking for it. Okay. So anyway, we got derailed by a whole bunch of contributions. I appreciate the contributions. Really, I do. But the question is, what are we going to do for the next DSP tries it? Okay? What are we going to do? I'm curious. Any ideas? Because I was looking for ideas and I didn't really get many suggestions. You know, is there anything going on currently besides the new Whopper? Is there anything going on currently that you guys would like to see? Diapers. The turd burger. Oh, I'm getting really intelligent responses. Indian food. I mean, we've done Indian food before a while ago. We could do it again if there was interest. Let's see. We did it only like 5 months ago. Butter chicken, lamb biryani, naan, and samosas. DSP tries it episode 235. So we did it recently. Yeah, we only did it, you know, like 6 months ago. So don't know if it would be that interesting to do it again when we just did it. Sushi we did and didn't go down well. I ordered a whole bunch of sushi and tried like 3-4 kinds. And people were like, well, this is boring. I'm like, well, yeah, all you're doing is showing a piece of sushi and tasting it quick. There's not much to it. It's kind of simple food, you know? Oh, I've never eaten canned sardines. No, that doesn't sound too appetizing. There is no Krispy Kreme around here, Momochai. Buffalo Wild Wings sweet chili crisp sauce. Ugh. You guys mentioned Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'm like, well, number one, I really don't want fried chicken. And number two, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings a long, long time ago, and it was terrible here. But that doesn't mean today it would still be terrible, but I'm just, like, dreading going there. I really am. Lily got buffed in Street Fighter 6. Is this correct? Oh, Dalsum. What did they change with Dalsum? I should read this. I should keep this open and read this later. Hit effect during combos is changed. You can cancel into Yoga Mummy and Drill Kick. This move is more useful as a midair combo piece. Really? So you can do a midair hit and cancel into a drill or the Yoga Mummy headbutt. Wow, that's different. Wait, seriously? So maybe you could teleport behind, do light kick, and then combo after. Oh shit, that's an interesting change right there. Yeah, you can now do jumping medium punch into drill kick or Yoga Mummy. That's totally cool and different. I gotta check that out. So when I'm Dalsum and I'm doing air medium, which is a stretchy medium punch, you can cancel that into either move now. That's actually going to be really useful. They made medium Yoga Flame better. Has better hitbox now. Both Yoga Flames are better now. Honda. Normal and Sumo Spear 100-hand slaps are easier to execute. Overdrive 100 hand Sumo Spirit 100 hand slap is now plus on block, making it completely safe. The medium version links from light attacks into a combo. Combo damage is increased. So now with Honda, if you have Sumo Spirit on, you could go jab, jab, medium hands, and it all combos. Well, this is all interesting shit. Wow. I totally got to read these. Let's look at Lily. They actually buffed the bottom tiers. Lily. Her Condor Spire and Condor Dive adjusted, making it possible to unleash combos and movements that weren't possible before. She now could change the distance she travels doing her Condor Spire. What the hell? Recovery has now been reduced on it, and she could do more after. Oh, man, I gotta read this. This is crazy balancing. So when she has the wind on, it's called Windclad. Lily can now use that Windclad to do another Condor Dive when rebounding from a hit or block. You can now do, listen to this, Rising, it's called Tomahawk Buster. That's her Dragon Punch move. Her Rising Tomahawk Buster, Condor Dive, and it all combos. So that's going to make her combos way bigger. You can only do a Condor Dive an extra time once. There's two. You can do 2 Condor Dives in a row. Yeah. Startup reduced on her Standing Heavy Punch. Recovery reduced on her EX version of Condor Spire. So she's going to be very different that I have to figure out. What's going to happen is she can now do different Condor Spires forward. She could do one that's short and land in front of you and grab you or do a combo. And she could do one that goes further and goes through the entirety of the screen further. So she can actually go like full screen EX Condor Spire and blow through a fireball now. And she could do double Condor Dive in the air. This is interesting. We'll have to experiment with this now. I mean, they actually improved Honda, Dalzim, and the Lily. All 3 of my bottom tier characters have been tweaked and made better. This is interesting. Okay. Well, sorry for getting distracted there. I didn't know about those changes. Those are some fascinating changes. Big Larry Gaming did a $2 super chat. Says, I'm watching Justin Wong. He says that Lily has a ton of buffs. We just looked at it. Condor Spire can be used multiple times in the air and better convert. Look, I just read that. They didn't even nerf her down heavy. When are you going to play her next after Alex? I mean, it sounds to me like I want to use all the characters. Like I said, Dalzim being able to air cancel into the drill or headbutt is really cool. Honda doing jabs into the medium Sumo Spirit hands is a giant combo. Because right now I'm just doing light headbutt. But if you could do medium hands, now you could do a big combo after. It's even better. And now Lily being able to do this new stuff in the air. Like, this is all great stuff. Can you do a big combo like 2 Condor Dives into an air level 2 for massive damage? Yes. Basically, anytime she's in the air, she could do a Condor Dive, and then she could do a second Condor Dive. So even if they block the first one, if they then try to respond, you can hit him with the second and then cancel into level 2 super. But the thing is, she needs to have charge. So she still has to have multiple wind charges to do it all. But I guess once she has the wind charges, now she has a lot more things she can do. So that's cool. Okay. So that's cool. Good to hear. I now want to try different things, obviously. When we get back to Street Fighter 6 and we get Alex to master, then I guess we go back to my other characters and we experiment with these changes and we see how much better they've become. There you go. Okay. So, I don't know. It doesn't sound like we're coming up with many ideas for DSP Tries It. What I want to talk about is my birthday. My birthday is in a little over 2 weeks. It's April 6th. We're going to do a marathon because we always do a marathon on my birthday. Okay? This year, I want to dictate the content so you guys know what I'm doing. The question is, what are we going to be doing? And you know, I've been thinking about it, and, you know, the way I see it, there's a few things I'd like to do. One thing that I absolutely would be willing to do is Mega Man Marathon 4 to finish the Mega Man Marathons. This way, we could beat Mega Man 8, and we could do 9 and 10, which were the retro throwback games, and basically wrap it up, all up nicely and say, okay, now we've beaten all the classic Mega Mans, right? And it's been over a year since I started those Mega Marathons. It was actually January of 2025 that we did the first one. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, Super Mario World. I play the game all day and try to beat it all in one sitting during the marathon, but while I'm drinking, okay? So that means clean playthrough starting from scratch. I haven't played this game in several years, so I'm sure I will remember a lot of it, but at the same time, to actually do all the challenging stuff, maybe try to not only beat it, but then try to also do all those things like the Star World, Special World, do everything, right? Actually complete all the content. That could be pretty challenging and fun to try to do in a marathon. Outside of that, I really don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what else I would like to do. To be honest with you, I would love to play classic fighting games, except there's no way for me to do it. The only way I could do that is to have Fightcade, and if I get Fightcade, someone's going to get my IP address and just DDoS attack me nonstop. There's really no other way to play the classics. No one really plays them anymore. If you try to find competition, it's laggy as shit, and there's no one there. Like, for example, I got this controller for Switch 2, and the first thing I tried to do was play Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers. I did find people, and it was super laggy as fuck, like, just not very fun to play. It did work, but it was laggy as hell. And that's the thing. If I try to play any modern versions of these classic fighters, they're all just very few players and super lag. So, not very fun. You know, and it's disappointing. So, what do you guys think? Do any of those ideas sound good? Would you prefer Mega Man Marathon, Super Mario Marathon, or try to play classic fighters and suffer through the lag? What do you think? Using a VPN is not viable for competitive fighting games. It would add way too much latency and it would lag like crazy, and it's not worth it. But besides the fact that people could still IP sniff, get the fake IP, DDoS attack that one, forcing me to change IPs every match, which is a waste of time and just not worth the time to do. So no, we're not doing that. Could I do private lobby with the community? It would lag to shit. We've done that before. It just lags like crazy, I'm telling you. Like, I would be willing to play. I mean, I have all these Capcom collections. I have Capcom Fighting Collection 1, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, right? Collection 1 has all the Darkstalkers games, has Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and has, I think, Super Turbo, or is it our Anniversary Edition? And then Collection 2 has Capcom vs. SNK 2. I would be willing to play all of those games, and the Marvel Collection. I could play Marvel 1 and 2. I would do that, or X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I would play all those games all day, but we have to find people to play, and there's just not enough people. We would sit around waiting all day, and when we finally find people, they'd be laggy. That's kind of the problem, you know? Like, I would love to do a classic throwback fighting game day where I just go down memory lane playing the games I love, but there's no good versions of these on PC. Well, let me ask you guys this. Would you enjoy a birthday marathon where I played Super Mario World all day, and we played this classic with the retro controller, so it feels like I'm playing it on SNES, and I chill, we hang out, we have a good time, you know, interacting, talking, relaxing, and I just play through the game trying to beat it all in one sitting? Would you enjoy seeing me do a Super Mario World birthday marathon? We got a split. Yes, that's cool. I would. I'd enjoy that. Flip side, I don't really enjoy Super Mario World. It'd be boring. No, not me. So it's like a split, 50-50. Let's do a quick poll. Not to say this is going to determine what we do. Let's do a poll. You guys vote. In the meantime, this is voting music, by the way, for the record. In the meantime, I'm going to go to various fast food websites right now and see what I can find. Pizza Hut has absolutely nothing going on. Domino's apparently has nothing going on. It says there's a new specialty pizza. Oh, that disgusting chicken bacon ranch. Forget that shit. Papa John's just still has the new pan pizza. Nothing special, just that. Okay. Burger King is advertising their new Whopper. Yep. We just did Wendy's. They're not going to have anything. Wendy's has nothing. It's the same shit we just did. Carl's Jr. still has the same exact stuff. That Cali XL that we tried 4 months ago. The Western Burger. It's the exact same menu. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like Carl's Jr. I enjoyed it. But Jollibee is doing an Angus Burger. But I think we already had that, didn't we? I feel like we had the Angus Burger already. I'm pretty sure we did. It seems to ring a bell, right? Crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. Are you kidding me? All they did, they made a Crunchwrap and they put chicken tenders in it. I can't believe Taco Bell still exists and people still eat that shit. It's so... What a horrible business. Seriously. KFC just has their stupid wraps, which they call the Twister. Looks terrible. And Nashville hot chicken. Looks like Chick-fil-A is doing a new jalapeno ranch club. And there's 3 variations that they're doing. Yeah. You can do original, spicy, or grilled chicken filet with jalapenos and ranch and a special like Monterey Jack cheese. So it's a spicy chicken sandwich, basically. I haven't done Chick-fil-A in a long time. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, the last time we did it was episode 207. And it was Smokehouse Barbecue Chicken and Dragon Fruit Sunjoy Drink. March 31st of last year. So it's been a whole year. Yeah, it's literally been a year since I did it. Huh. Maybe we do that. Since it's been a whole year. What do you guys think? Chick-fil-A? Try the new sandwich and get some stuff. We haven't done it in a year. Okay, hold on. The poll has ended, and people voted for Classic Street Fighter on PC. The thing is, it would probably be incredibly hard to find opponents. When is my birthday this year? A Monday. In the middle of a random Monday, we're going to try to find opponents in classic fighting games like Third Strike, Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition, Darkstalkers, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, 2, and X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and CVS 2. I doubt we're going to find anyone. To be honest, we could try. Like, maybe what we would do is we'll set it up to be that and see what happens. And if we just can't find anyone, then we play Mario. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the day. Is that we're either going to be doing Mario or we're going to be doing Street Fighter, and we kind of figure it out on the fly depending on what's available. Right? Okay. There's the only thing I can think of that we would make it, you know, realistic that it could happen. Have I ever done a marathon without drinking? Yeah. I've done marathons without drinking. We only started doing that, what, a year and a half ago? Yeah. Again, we started doing it because I was trying to get support, and it would be like, oh, well, if I hit a certain amount of support, I have a shot. Now, I don't even need to do that anymore because we're not doing goals or anything. You see? So this person has a racist name. You're banned. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm going to try to read that? So yeah, you know, like I was saying earlier, could we possibly get some kicks or a sub on Kick? We've had 0 kick support today. We've had a good amount of super chats on this stream. We had some tips. They're all small tips, but we've had some tips. All right? But we got nothing from Kick whatsoever. You're all over there watching. How many do we have? Are you kidding me? We have 114 viewers on Kick right now. 114. And none of you are going to contribute to the stream. Maybe I'll just turn the stream off. Let's turn it off, guys. Ready? Here we go. Let's turn off the Kick viewership right now, and let's see how they like it. Here we go. Stop. There we go. I just turned it off. Now they can't watch. To hell with them. I didn't turn off the Kick stream for the record. Yeah. Let's go. Let's get someone. Let's get one person on Kick to contribute something. And not a single kick. I mean something that I can count. Like 100 kicks or a sub. Let's go. Let's get one single person to contribute one contribution from Kick right now. Buckwell, I just said not one kick. So I don't count you. Do I promise not to ban you? Are you banned now? You're not banned now. Why would I ban you? If you obey the rules, I will never ban you. And the rules don't mean to not make fun of me and not razz me. As you can see, everyone in Kick Chat does that. It's when you go too far. It's if you get personal and you say fucked up stuff about my family, or you actually, you know, make stuff up that's toxic memes that aren't true. That's the difference between saying, you know, Phil sucks at video games and shit like that. You know what I mean? Phil is 1 pound overweight. Well, that's completely false. I'm more than that overweight, so I'm going to ban you. Actually, I wonder. I'm 177 right now. I wonder if that would be considered overweight for my height of 5'11". I don't even know anymore. I've been so used to being overweight for such a long time that I actually wonder if I'm overweight anymore, or if I've actually gotten down to the right weight now. Insanely loud. You want to get unbanned on Kick? All right, are you not going to act like an asshole? Because that's why you got banned. I banned you because you were a complete prick. There, I unbanned you. Now, the moment that you act like a fool, I'm going to ban you permanently and make sure you never come back. Noble Time says he's 6 feet tall and his doctor says 180 is his goal weight. Okay, so I'm right about there. Like I said, what's good is I've turned the corner. I started gaining muscle weight. Because I was down to 175 and I haven't gained any more fat, but I started gaining weight. I'm like, oh, I'm gaining muscle weight, which is excellent. I could see it. You know, I could actually finally see on my arms the muscle is buffed up, and my God, my stomach is like a washboard. It really is. I mean, there's fat around. I hate having this band of fucking fat. It drives me nuts that I can't burn that, and I'm probably gonna have to do like cardio to get rid of it or whatever. But I am like a rock on my stomach now. Like, God damn, I haven't been like that again since I was in my 20s. All right, so Koopaloop has gifted a sub on Kick. We actually have Kick support this morning. Thank you, Koopaloop. I appreciate that. Thank you for our first sub of the day. That's nice of you. Shambling Ham, I will unban you on Kick. I don't care. He says he got banned during Smark Guys. Dude, Smark Guys was like a fucking year ago. Who gives a shit? I'll unban you right now. Just tell me your name over there. 5'5"? No, I'm 5'11". I'm not 5'5". But yeah, there was weird. In my early YouTube days, everyone was of the impression I was short. I don't know why. Maybe it was the camera angle. And then when people started meeting me like at conventions and stuff, they'd be like, oh shit, you're actually like pretty tall. Like, yeah, I don't know why you thought I was short. Maybe because I was fat and they thought I was like fat and stocky or something. Please delete the Smart Guys emote. We could. If you guys could think of a better emote to put in place of the Smart Guys one, I would do it. I don't have one. If someone made an emote to replace that one, we could do it. I think we still have a couple emote spots left on Kick, but no one's made emotes in 100 years. Have I buried the hatchet with the Smart Guys co-host? Yes, myself and Ethan Ralph, we're good now. It's all good. We squashed the beef. We're good now. Iki, thank you so much for the gifted subscription. Thank you for the support. That's more Kick support today. I appreciate that very much. And he used a cute kitty emote. That's cute. Who's that kitty? Polite cat. Very nice. Yeah, I know. I guess Ethan Ralph is in hot water right now. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with the whole situation besides what you guys have told me. So I pay no attention to any of it. Okay. No, I did not see body cam footage. Oh, no. Oh, boy. No, I did not see the body cam footage of anything. Oh, man. A body cam react? Let's do it right now. No, we're not doing that. We're not. We can hang out for about another 30 minutes, but I do have to end the show by 1:30 because then I'm going to get ready to have a meal, and then in about like around 2:30, 2:45, I'm going to come back and we're going to start with Crimson Desert. So we got about another half an hour to chill for the podcast today, okay? You want me to unban John Diaper? Sure. I don't know who that is. I unbanned John Diaper. There you go. What a great name. Can we watch the Crimson Desert trailer to hype? No. No, we're going to play a giant stream of Crimson Desert in just like 2 hours. Let's just wait for it. Let's not go crazy. I'm excited for it, but let's not go nuts. Can I unban Rowdy Roddy Trotter? That's a hard ask. I could do it, but if he acts up again, I'm just going to have to ban him instantly and then publicly deride him. Do you think he's able to not misbehave? Okay, now let's see what happens. Let's see the first words out of his mouth. They're going to get him banned again. Watch. Villain EXE says, I heard from test screenings of Street Fighter 2026, the film is actually good. It's going to be goofy and cartoony and campy. So if it's like the original Street Fighter movie from the 90s, that'll be interesting. What is ACG style game reviews? I don't know what that is. So of course, now that I'm unbanning people on Kick, this means you're going to shower me with support. Let's get some kicks and let's get some subs right now, since I'm being so benevolent this afternoon. Let's go. Thank you guys for chilling with me. It's awesome of you to come by for the podcast today, all of you who have. The fact that you supported the podcast in the way that you have already is awesome. Like I said, we'll probably hang out for about another half an hour. I got to wrap this up by 1:30, and then I'll, have a meal with my wife and get ready for Crimson Desert, which will be our very long stream later. Bring back Darkside Dabbing? Darkside Dabbing is a mod on Kick. He's a moderator on Kick currently. He's not there today. Anything nice for lunch? So we're basically having dinner for lunch because I can't have a dinner because I'll be on stream all day. So we're having red lentil pasta with ground turkey and a homemade marinara. What I mean by that is we got this passata sauce. Do you know what passata is? So it is a very insanely basic tomato sauce made with authentic Italian tomatoes. They grind them up, but they remove all the seeds. So it's just really finely ground Italian tomatoes. Then my wife adds a whole bunch of seasonings to it to make it taste better, like some red pepper, oregano, things like that, okay? So we're going to have it in that, and I think she's also going to put sweet onion and some other things in there. So it's a homemade pasta dish with turkey, onions, really rich tomato sauce that she's making, basically. So it's going to be good. I am not gluten-free, no, but we are eating pastas that are healthier. So we either eat like chickpea or lentil pasta. Theodore says, what about a marathon where you watch the Street Fighter animated series for laughs? I said I would do that. I totally said I would do that because we watched a clip of it near the end of my React show, and that shit was hilarious. Like, that show is awful and so laughable with memes and shit, but then I ended the React show, so we stopped kind of doing that content. I think that would be funny. So what do you think? I'm thinking about doing Chick-fil-A. As long as this new spicy ranch sandwich is available next week, I'm thinking of doing Chick-fil-A again. I haven't done it in a year. So that would work for next week for DSP Tries It. What do you guys think about that? I actually can't even remember the last time I had a chicken sandwich for DSP Tries It. We should keep doing burgers. Like, so I want to do something different. Big Mac says the React show was so good, rest in peace. Yeah, well, would have been nice if more people showed up and supported it. It actually had such low attendance and support those last few episodes. I was like, because see, this was the thing. The React show, the reason I built it the way I did was because if it was people who were paid subscribers suggesting the videos, the show would always be supported. It didn't matter how the stream did because people were already paying for the show to exist. But we started off with like over 100 people paying, and by the time it was over, it was like 20. So it basically became not viable again, and the streams just didn't do good. So what can you do? Do I eat hummus? I do have hummus from time to time, and I really enjoy it. It's delicious. No, there is no authentic Italian stuff out here. Any Italian that I ordered would be insanely overpriced and just slop. I know because my wife and I have tried it. We ordered from an Italian restaurant that was close, and we ordered 2 dishes. What did we get? We got the chicken. No, we didn't get chicken. We got carbonara pasta, and we got pizza, which was supposed to be just like a basic cheese pizza. Okay? The carbonara pasta was horrible. Okay? It was completely done wrong. It was completely too much, like a ton of cream, which is not supposed to have, and chunks of bacon rather than the Italian meat that's supposed to be in there. It was awful. And then the pizza was supposed to be authentic pizza. It wasn't whatsoever. It actually didn't even have an end crust. You know how pizza's supposed to have an end crust you hold it by? It didn't even have it. It went all the way to the edge. It was thin. It was like a cracker. It tasted horrible. Like, this is fucking Italian here, and it was an Italian restaurant. Like, this is Italian out here. It's fucking garbage. Nothing like it's supposed to be. Which Italian meat is it supposed to have? I forget off the top of my head what carbonara is supposed to have. What's it called? Shit. I'm having a brain fart. Let me look it up. It's not bacon. Bacon is what Americans do, and they do it wrong. There. Guanciale. Cured pork. It's pork cheek. Guanciale. That's right. Guanciale. That's what it's supposed to have. If you don't get guanciale, you put pancetta, and then what happens is Americans put in freaking bacon, and that's completely wrong. It's not supposed to be bacon. Pasta with rose sauce is a mix of tomato sauce and cream sauce, and it's delicious. Don't think I've done that. Why does Bison need Ryu but not Akuma? Well, I would say number 1, because Ryu has beaten Akuma before, so he's probably more powerful. And number 2, because Ryu is under control of his powers, his Hado powers, while Akuma is consumed by them, which is why he's become evil. Yes, I'm aware there's a Steam Spring sale today. I'm well aware of that. When did Ryu beat Akuma? Ryu beats Akuma in like every game. All the Alpha series, he beat him. Didn't he beat him in Street Fighter V as well at the end? I think he did. Again, the lore of Street Fighter is so uncertain because it never really was important. And a lot of the times the games would almost retcon the endings of the last one. So no one really remembers. I don't remember. No one played Street Fighter for the story. Let's just put it that way. What are my thoughts on fettuccine alfredo? It's all right. I'll admit sometimes if you get a good fettuccine alfredo, it can be pretty tasty. A lot of the time they become too creamy or cheesy and it's just overwhelming. So I don't really eat it. I wouldn't eat it often. Like if I went to an Italian restaurant, I probably would never get a fettuccine alfredo. I prefer red sauce. Unbanned corpse hammer? Who's that? I don't remember a corpse hammer. Where is there a corpse hammer? All right, what do you guys want to talk about? We have a few more minutes, or we could end early. It's up to you. But we have a few more minutes to chill. Here, I'll type in the kick chat. What I would say is... what I would say is, the good news is we kind of have some ideas for DSP Tries It. Probably I'm going to do Chick-fil-A next week. Okay? Maybe after that, we will try the new Whopper at Burger King. I just don't want to do another burger right away. All right? So that's number 1. Number 2, my birthday marathon will either be Classic Street Fighter or Super Mario World, or maybe both. That's what we'll do. We'll skip Mega Man Marathon for now. Maybe we'll bring it back later. All right? Maybe we'll do Mega Man as an official marathon in the future. But I think I either want to do Classic Street Fighter or I want to do, like I said, Super Mario. Maybe we'll start with Street Fighter, and if it lags and it's frustrating, I'll just do Mario to chill. And it'll be my birthday. There you go. And, of course, you guys will shower me with lavish gifts on my birthday, right? You're going to send me all kinds of stuff. A nice Balenciaga, like, leather jacket. And, very expensive colognes. $300, $400 bottles of cologne, right? That's what you're getting me. Rum cakes? No. I did have the rum cake last year from, I forget who it was, and then they got upset that I basically slided the Keno Casino and dumped them and left them in the curb, on the gutter, and he ran away and never came back. So I'm never getting a rum cake again, I guess. He's very upset with me. What a shame. So, see? That's what you guys don't understand, is that it was very hard to do that. Because even though every waking moment that I spend with those guys was like a nightmare, giving me a fucking splitting headache, listening to screaming, screeching, begging, you know, autistic levels of just retardation, I got rum cake out of it. So I did sacrifice something by cutting off that relationship. You have to understand. Okay? And I've never recovered. Dunsfelter claims he was not from Keno Casino, but I don't know. He never showed up until I was doing collabs with them, so I don't know about that. He claims no, he was watching me outside of them. Ask Keemstar to send me a cake. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to. Well, to do that, I'd have to unblock him everywhere. Keemstar currently has 0 avenue to reach me because I closed off all avenues because he was being obnoxious and he was annoying me. So I said, no more of that. No more nonsense. Yes, I do like Alex's Street Fighter 6. I feel like the key to success with Alex is using the stances. Okay? Using his stance and using the variety of attacks he has from said stances. And I feel like if I get better with that, I'll actually do really well with the character. Todd Howard upset the internet. Todd Howard fucked himself. He did. He's such a dunce. You know, at one point, Todd Howard was considered one of the big leaders in game development. Now he's just an afterthought. Like, who the hell thinks about Todd Howard anymore? His studio doesn't put out games. You know, they just put out stupid DLC content for fucking Fallout 76. They don't know how to make anything worthwhile. Starfield sucks shit. Everything people want, they can't make. They're just wasting time and money, and they don't do anything. So that's why he's just irrelevant now. So he gets in an interview, and of course, someone wants to ask him about Elder Scrolls. He's all upset about it. Like, dude, it's your fault. You're an idiot. You don't make good games anymore. What do you think was going to fucking happen? People were going to, like, not ask you? You're an idiot. You're a dunce. You created your own personal hell, and now you deserve to stir in it. Or sit in it and stew in it, is what I meant to say. Shadow My Sonic, thanks for $5. Do you think Requiem's a top 5 Resident Evil game? That's a hard thing to answer. Because a lot of people think of different things about Resident Evil, right? And, like, when everyone always asks me, what's my favorite Resident Evil game? I say Resident Evil 1. Because it was the one that started it all. It actually kind of made mainstream survival horror. There was survival horror before Resident Evil 1. But that was the one that turned it into almost like a campy B-movie. Fixed camera angles, limited inventory, jump scares. It all had this unique vibe that pushed it into the forefront. So when you say, what's the best Resident Evil? It's the original one. It really is, like the one that started it all. Okay? But then when you say, well, what are the other big ones? Well, you could argue Resident Evil 4 advanced the formula. It took that old school dated formula and turned it into a modern game that people liked. And Resident Evil's kind of played like Resident Evil 4 ever since, when you really think about it. But outside of that, like, what are the other good ones, right? Well, 2, of course. 2 remake? Yeah. What else? I don't know. Now you get into tough ones, right? Like, what's better? 5? 5's all right. 6? Oh, don't say 6. Someone will rip your face off, right? 7? Well, 7's a good game, but 7 isn't really Resident Evil. It's a reboot of the franchise to make it scary again, but it doesn't really feel like Resident Evil. Same with 8. Like, 8 is a fine horror game, but is it really Resident Evil? I don't think so. 9? 9 is a hybrid. 9 undoubtedly is Resident Evil, but it combines it with the other elements that kind of aren't really Resident Evil. You know, but some people really like Code Veronica and say that that's one of the peak games. So if that's the case, you already got 5. So I don't know. It's tough. I'd have to re-explore. There's so many of them, right? I would definitely have to re-explore them all and rank them on their own merits, maybe play them all again to really answer the question fairly. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. No, I'm not on Ozempic. No, I'm not on Zepbound. I don't even know what that is. I'm not on anything. I work out, and I change my diet, and that's how I lost all the weight. The reason anyone says that shit is because they're jealous that I've done it, and they can't believe that I have the discipline to do it. Dude, I'm a fucking super disciplined dude. Why do you think I'm successful after 18 years of doing this and 15 years of grinding through people shitting on me? Because I'm fucking disciplined. Why do you think that I have a set schedule? I'm here every day in, day out, because I'm disciplined. It's something I'm very good at. I was the guy, not to say that I wasn't fat, but so when I worked in the office, right? People would be there, they would like have a can of Pringles, and they'd be like, Phil, do you want a Pringle? And I'd say, sure. And I'd take one Pringle and I eat it. And I'd start to walk away. They go, wait, what are you doing? I'd say, because I'm leaving. I had my Pringle. You're only going to have one? Yeah. I'm just going to, it's just this tiny snack. That's all I want. I'm going to walk away. I can't believe you ate just one. What are, you know, yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. I'm disciplined. I don't need a fucking more than one. That's fine. I don't even know what you're talking about. My face drooped for 1,000,000 years. My face has looked like this for 100 years. Basically, ever since I got fat when I was in my late 20s, my face has looked like this. It hasn't changed appearance. It's always looked like this. So when idiots say stuff like, you have Ozempic face, it's like, my face always looked like this. It never changed. I don't know what you're telling me. Like, what you're saying doesn't make sense. Show me the moment where my face changed. It's looked like this for 100 years. It's because I was fat. I gained all this weight, like in my face, stretched it out. And now it's going to take probably years to ever lose it if I ever do. It sucks because the rest of my body is almost like super slim and good and lean, and my face won't change. There's nothing I can really do about it. Looks like I fucking got stung by a bunch of bees, right? I don't know what to do about it. It's not like I'm not working out. But, you know, how do you lose it? How do you lose a fat face when you've been fat for a long time? I don't know. Is that true? Llama says the irony is that the face of people who actually use Ozempic, it resembles a skeleton. Oh, so I'm the opposite then. I'm reverse Ozempic face. Oh, okay. Soft Sausages 47, thanks for 10 months. He says, don't lie. Once you pop, you can't stop. Again, I am a disciplined dude. I can just limit myself to eating smaller portions and things like that. I didn't always do that. I let myself go, but I can do disciplined things. Like for a while there, I was working out every day. Like, no lie, I was working out every day, and I had one day off a week. So 6 days straight, I'd be working out. I've definitely relaxed the schedule now, especially now that I'm working with heavier weights. I can't do that. I need rest. If I don't, my body's killing me. But yeah, I was going crazy with the workouts and stuff there at first, like just overdoing it, because I knew that was the biggest hurdle was getting into the discipline and busting through the fact that I hadn't worked out for years and years, and I needed to get into that habit. What was my diet in my 20s? In my 20s, it was super unhealthy, man. I told you, when I used to be fat, you know, I'm talking like when I was like 240, right? So I'd wake up in the morning, and it would be completely unhealthy food. Whether it's one of those really unhealthy breakfast sandwiches that's like a bunch of cheese and bacon and shit, right? Or I would get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich or omelet sandwich on the way to work from a fast food place, okay? With like full sugar orange juice. Then when I was at work, I would constantly be drinking tea or coffee with sugar and cream and shit in it. And then for lunch, it would be an unhealthy lunch, a super loaded sandwich with fatty meats, cheeses, sauces. I would go to a deli at a local grocery store and get like the giant meat sandwich that they had at the deli with a side of chips or whatever, right? And then for dinner, again, unhealthy food for dinner every day. You know, like no matter what, I never ate healthy. So it was just terrible. Typical breakfast nowadays, it is the healthy version of the breakfast sandwich. So it's egg whites, turkey sausage, and very small, like shrunken on purpose for low carbs, English muffin. And it comes with a piece of garbage processed American cheese. I take it off and throw it out. I just have the protein and a little bit of carbs and then a black coffee. That's my breakfast most days. We are starting a new game. In fact, I got to be out of here in about 5 minutes so I can upload this podcast and I can go, have a meal with my wife and prepare for the late stream. So last chance, if you want to ask me any questions, if you want to support this podcast, thank you to those who did. I mean, it's awesome to get that level of support just for a podcast. You guys are amazing. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. If you can't be here later for Crimson Desert, the videos will be going live late tonight when the stream ends. The stream won't end till like 9:30 tonight. So there'll be like 6 to 7 hours of gameplay going live. And I'm going to do a little summary video to tell you what I think about my day one coverage of the game, or like what I think after 6-7 hours. That'll be a special highlight video I'll do on the channel. And then I won't be back till Sunday, okay? Crimson Desert unlocks at 3 p.m., so I'm going to go in about 5 minutes, upload this podcast, and I'll be back like 2:40, 2:45 to hype it up, and then we'll get started, okay? Do I press my own coffee? No, we get K-Cups. I don't have time for that shit. I'm not some kind of coffee aficionado. Ain't got time for that. I'm shocked we had so many people on Kick today for the podcast. 123 people for the podcast? What is going on? Why were you all here? That's a lot of people for the podcast. I don't know, but that's a good crowd. Obviously, I'm happy with that. I mean, essentially, this podcast stream has more viewers than most of my gameplay streams, so that's cool. I've never did Dave's Hot Chicken because we don't have one. The closest Dave's Hot Chicken is in downtown Seattle, which is over an hour away, so I can't get it. Yeah, it sucks. Maybe we'll get one someday and I'll try it. So, okay. So, what did we figure out today? Number one, we figured out the schedule for next week. It's going to be a balance of Crimson Desert, continuing with Dragon Quest, continuing with Slay the Spire 2, some Street Fighter 6 where we're going to get Alex to master. Then we're going to use these balance changes to try all my characters because it sounds like Honda, Dalzim, and Lily have all been improved, which is awesome. I didn't look at Zangief, but I'm going to assume they probably didn't improve him. Then there will be more Rimworld where we're going to continue on with my current run, but if we get bored, maybe we'll restart and we'll do a DLC. Okay, so that's next week. And we determined next week I'm probably going to be doing Chick-fil-A for DSP Tries It. We'll try this new spicy ranch sandwich they have. And we determined that for my birthday marathon, likely it's going to be me trying classic fighting games to see if we can find anyone playing them on PC and have some comp. If that doesn't work, we can always try on PlayStation. If that doesn't work, we'll probably do Super Mario World on the Switch 2 with my SNES controller. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It should be a fun event. My birthday marathon should be good this year. That's the stuff we came to a determination of on this show. All right? Also, reminder, I'm not here tomorrow and I'm not here Saturday. I return on Sunday. And there will be a Level 1 podcast on Sunday that will summarize how today went and what I thought of the game. And also probably talk about my days off and more. Okay? All right, I think I'm going to get out of here. It sounds like most people have the chat slowed down. We're at a chat rate of 0. I'm not even kidding you. We're at chat rate of 0 on YouTube, so I guess that's time for me to get out of here. All right, well, everyone. Well, I want to say thanks for coming out. Attendance actually today was quite high for the show, and I appreciate you all hanging out with me on this special Level 1 podcast. I hope you'll be back later for Crimson Desert if you can make it, and if not, I'll see you all Sunday where we'll talk about how it went, and I'll play it again. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you soon with the Level 1 podcast. Peace out, everybody.